As a culture, we have abandoned homemaking. We have abandoned motherhood. We have placed supreme value on career and being a financial contributor to the world, not just our homes, but to the world. Our value is placed that way. But what if? What if we returned to our roots, to our biology, to the absolute beautifulness of homemaking? Recently, I had a conversation with a family. They were a traditional family in the sense that the mom and the dad both worked. They have a son who is in the public school system and, you know, pretty normal, very normal. And they were asking us about us and what we do with our kids. And I was explaining how we educate at home through unschooling and whatnot, and talking about how incredible it is that each child is so very unique. Even though we have six kids, they are all very different, each their own. And I was talking about my daughter who was bridging. She had started taking a couple classes at the high school this year to dip her toe into, like, what is all this about? I've heard so much of. But I was also saying how, and it's just incredible to see this person, my daughter, who has not had what we consider traditional education by any means, is coming into the world in such a strong and beautiful way. What she's doing she works outside the home, and the things that she's doing in her, I'll call it a career, in her job, are pretty extraordinary for a lady of her young years. And I was just saying how proud I was of watching her come into herself. And for me, I was saying in a way that was, not pressured externally. And the gentleman said, "Oh, wow. So what does she want to do?" And I said, without missing a beat, she wants to have 12 kids and be married and stay at home and have a farm and raise animals. And I was so proud to share that. And he immediately said, without missing a beat, "What a waste of potential." And I, as much as I want, like, my hair started to get on fire, I totally get it. I totally understood where he was coming from because that was me not that many years ago. And my value system has changed dramatically the more that I turned in towards valuing my marriage and then understanding my womanhood and then my motherhood. But my reaction to him was, well, the world needs more mothers who actually invest in their kids and don't, pass the buck and have them be raised in public school. And I'm really proud of her. And I'm so excited to see what's to come. Bye-bye. so, so with that, that really brought up, I had so much emotion around that because I took it so personally. Because homemaking, motherhood, all of that, it is so personal to us girls. It's who we are it's our as women, the choices that we're making. And so I just wanted to touch on, maybe you've been working outside the home and maybe you've had an inkling of, wouldn't it be nice to stay at home and be with my kids? Or even just be at home, even if they're in public school. What would that be like? I just wanted to talk about the value of homemaking because we as a culture, and I will say we as in me previously, looked at homemaking as a waste. Anybody can do all of those things put together. Lots of other people could cover down on and have, and do. But what I was contributing to the world, only I could do. And it was always external. It was never like, who's supposed to mother my children except me? I don't know. Hands, anybody? Who is supposed to be the warm, gentle, loving, passionate, exciting presence in my home, if not me, for my husband? What's he getting out of it? We're just roommates. We're just one dude and another dude living together, both paying the bills and complaining that there's never enough time and we're always eating out and all these like, no, that's we're missing something, something beautiful. And it is the art of homemaking. And it does not mean that you have to put your June Cleaver pearls on and your frilly apron and pretend that everything is wonderful all the time as you dust your house. That's not what it means. Homemaking is the making of a home environment, and everything that goes into it. To me, homemaking also encompasses care of children, nurturing of the family. Now, here's what we do. Here's what the female of the species does. She or this is biologically, this is how it goes. I'm sure you know. So the girl finds a guy who seems like he's going to be able to protect, provide, and lead, and that she can respect him. Okay? Those are the requirements. And and with that also, fall in love, find him totally hunky, and just want to be with him all the time. All those things wrapped together. That's what we're looking for in a man. And then, what is he looking for in a girl? Well, I mean, this is related. I'm just going to go into it because stop me if you can. He's looking for someone who makes life fun. And not just fun like, oh, she's always a party but she never, cleans up after herself, but fun as in like, he's doing hard stuff and when I'm around you, baby, I feel like, all the weight is lifted off my shoulders and I can just, you know, you give him all the tinglies. It's awesome. And so you are a delight to him. You delight him. And he gives you that sense of security and that feeling of, oh, I am here, I am held, I am loved, I am safe. Wonderful, beautiful. So then a woman will then create the domain. So what I love, there's a book called Fascinating Womanhood by Helen Andelin Forsyth. And wait, no, that's Dixie Andelin Forsyth. Pardon me. That's her daughter who has taken over the mantle. So Fascinating Womanhood, she has a newer version of it. But Helen Andelin, she wrote Fascinating Womanhood. Okay, what does she say? Well, girls, she says that a man's job is to make the living, while a woman's job is to make life worth living. When I heard that, it was like a slap to the face. Because was I really helping my husband experience a life worth living? No, I was not. I was not. I always had troubles that I wanted to shower him with. I wanted to bathe him in my troubles and ask for his help, but then not really pay attention to what he would recommend I do in these situations. And so he was being ignored, he was being dumped on, and I really because he didn't have like most guys, they don't have a lot of preference on certain things like, "Oh, so what do you want to eat?" Well, whatever. Whatever. It's like, okay, well, I'll kind of make it a whatever. And I don't really care. Like I'm going to go snack on whatever I like, but coming to serve you and make you food, like, well, whatever. I was not giving my best. I was hardly trying. So fascinating to learn how, oh my gosh, when I show up as a wife, I get to invest and pay it like this is my job. If you had a job requirement list of what does it mean when you get married as a woman, what a guy really wants? What does a guy really want? Does he want you to become a lawyer and just be gone all the time? And then you guys figure out food here or there and who's going to pick up the kids and might as well get a nanny because somebody's got to help keep the house tidy and the kids get them to bed and all that stuff. That doesn't sound like a recipe for happiness to me. That sounds like a recipe for affairs and divorce and just a whole lot of feeling angry at each other because nobody's doing the right job. Uh, Bleh. I hate that. I hate that. And I certainly felt that way before I realized, oh my gosh, you know what would really make me feel so much more peaceful and happy? if I could invest my time and talents into creating a home environment that felt great, that was peaceful, that I could use my talents in being a better wife and being a better me. And really, that's where it started. It was all me. It was all me. And I love how men are just there to respond to us in a way. When we start making those changes in our hearts and in our life, we start rearranging our values to really prioritize our marriage. Us first, make sure that we are filling ourselves up so we are a healthy operating system. So we got to get healthy first. And that means all of us. And then our marriage, and then our motherhood. Everything falls down beautifully through that when we have those systems right. Get that order, those values in that order. So finding the magic of that and like, oh, wow. I mean, here I was out there like a man trying to crush it in my career and like have these different levels, markers of success, which, every time I hit something that me 5 years previously would go like, oh, high five, like drop that mic, walk away. You rocked it. But in that moment where that achievement was had, it didn't really feel that great. It was like, well, because I saw the next mountain peak that I like, well, I haven't gotten to that one yet. And you just keep doing that. You're always chasing. You're always chasing and you're never content. And I don't think that that is how we, as we are wired, are the happiest or can be the happiest, simply climbing mountain peaks. Honestly, wouldn't you rather be down at base camp making hot cocoa? I would. Making things kind of cozy, getting the fire started, and like, hey guys, how was hiking? Yeah, oh, tell me all about it. That sounds like a lot more fun. And you know what? That person at base camp is so valuable. What if there's no one at base camp? What if you go back to it's 8 o'clock at night. It's the darkness is falling. There's no food prepared. There's no fire there. Do you know? I bet that's what it feels like when you think that you're married to someone and that's the thing that they give, like, hey, I was kind of expecting that I could, after a long day of work, I'd come home to this sweet, warm environment with the sweet, warm woman who is there to, and I bet, isn't that what our kids want too? Especially if they're gone at school or gone, I don't know where else they go if they're not at school because they're always here with me. But, they go out and play and they come home and they're probably not really looking forward to a woman who's like, I said, go clean your room, blah, 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 blah. You didn't do this yet. And now go pick up the dog poop and blah, blah, blah. No. What if they're welcomed with a warm hug and that it feels peaceful? Like, my gosh, that's our job. We set the tone for the entire environment of the home. And what does the home do? It's the place where we raise this next generation of people. We are changing the culture. We are so flippin' powerful. It is ridiculous. And yet, we look at homemaking like, just hire someone that doesn't even have their college degree and or their high school diploma. And, they're going to keep everybody alive and, basic cooking and, hey, there you go. Job's done. But this is what I realized. I was robbing myself. And you take whatever perspective you would like. But I found, and I believe a lot of other women are feeling this way too, that I was robbing myself of absolute delight. When I had my epiphany, my aha moment, where I had been looking for, like, what? I know there's something bigger for me in life. I know I was meant for more than just being a photographer or an actress. And like, I know that there's something bigger for me. What is that? And I spent like a whole year searching and meditating and seeking out mentors and help. And it wasn't until I had like this beep after seeing several women who I had grown up with, who were either mothers of friends of mine or were girls girls, ladies my age who are now in their mothering, and I witnessed the beauty of either the legacy of their motherhood and now going into grandmothering, and or my friend and watching her mother her children, watching them feel so safe and content knowing mommy is always here. Mommy is always there for me. And I was just struck by, oh my gosh, I am giving my best away to strangers. I care more about what strangers think and how I make strangers feel than I do about my own children, about my husband. Wow. I feel like error, error. What mode was blinking on me. But having that epiphany of realizing, oh my gosh, you know what? I'm missing this time and these experiences. My children will never be children again. They will grow up, and I will have years of boss babing it or whatever it is that I feel like I want to do. But right now, it is not just for your children. It is for you. And that is what spoke into my heart, that this was my opportunity to enjoy my once in a lifetime of motherhood. And yeah, I have 6 kids. Hopefully I'll have some more. But it does not lessen the beauty, the intensity, and the value of getting to be here and mother. Because I tell you what, even though my kids are around me all the time, I still feel like I don't have enough time to mother the way I want to. Like to really, really do it well and right. But at least I get the opportunity every day to choose, to try to make a better choice in certain circumstances. And, every day, can I be better at this? Yeah, I can. Don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up. But there's always another step forward. And it's beautiful. And it's like, did you watch the Nanny McPhee? I'm sure you have. And gosh, it's a really fun movie to watch. I just love it. And in that, as the kids learn lessons, Nanny McPhee, who begins as this gnarled, warty lady, one of her blemishes, one of her uglies, falls away. At the end, as the children learn each of the 5 different lessons that she's there to teach them. And I feel like as we as we move forward in our mothering and we say, okay, I think I'm understanding this lesson. I think I can show up in a way that feels a lot better to me and for my kids. Then it's like one of those uglies falls away. But that's the whole process. Is we are never going to arrive. We are never going to be perfect. But this is the journey. And our children are our teachers. Is beautiful and ironic and glorious and scary and magnificent. So, if you were like me, and I really did never dream about being a mother. I never dreamed about my home. I daydreamed about my apartment that I would have with my best friend and all of our mismatched plates and silverware and everything that we would get from the thrift store because, we're young and we're poor and we're starting out and we're getting our careers going. I fantasized about that, but I never dreamed about having kids or what that would look like. And yet, as I have been so lucky to experience motherhood, as I have been so blessed by my husband for the opportunity to stay at home and be a homemaker, after I gave the career thing a whirl and went, what is this baloney? Hey, it feels really good. So this is an aside. We'll get back to motherhood and homemaking. But I totally get why it is so tantalizing to want to have a career on many levels. For one thing, it feels awesome to get paid for being you. Look, I did something. Oh, yeah? That's worth this much money. Well, thank you, kind sir. Thank you so much. I will take that. Thank you. Who's next? Who else can I help? It feels good. In motherhood, our life is constantly undone. it's not constantly undone, it's constantly being done over. Laundry, dishes, cooking food, grocery shopping, reading the same stories over and over. And there's so many things that we just do on repeat. And oftentimes because we don't really have landmarks to be able to say, aha, I have reached that goal. On to the next. Because it is a constant movement. It's like motherhood's like the ocean. You are just always in it, but you've never arrived anywhere. You're just, this is me in motherhood. And then I guess when your kids all leave the house, then I mean your mothering isn't over. It is just different. Yeah, you have adults. And so it is very tantalizing to want something that you can show in a tangible way. Look, I did this. I got my 25-year coin from the bill. I got my watch, or I made X amount of money this month. Like I through the roof in my financial growth, and my company is doing incredible. Yay, look at you, measuring marks and things. But you can't it's not the same value with homemaking. I mean, you can take it like, I made this banana bread. It is incredible. Look at my pictures on Instagram and like. That's, and you get some feels like, ooh, look at my sourdough. I know sourdough is how we all measure ourselves these days. How is your sourdough doing? I don't have a sourdough starter these days. It's not me right now. But it feels lovely to have those acknowledgments for to be able to focus on something and it's like, look, I have a finished product. It's done. I spent time on this and this is what I made. That feels really good. And you can feel that way as well about like meals. Like, I want to challenge myself a little more in what I'm bringing literally to the table. I want to maybe try something a little more complicated for dinner, or hey, I really want to challenge myself on doing a budget meal system for this month and see if we can narrow things down and like make excellent food on a budget. How can I do that? See, those are accomplishments as well. But it doesn't feel that way unless we're with other gals who also see and value that. So I totally understand. And I'm not saying you can't have a career, but what I have listened to quite a few other podcasts, other women's stories. It's like, I'll listen to a podcast. I'm now an expert. But listening to other women's stories and hearing them say, this time of your motherhood and your homemaking is incredibly valuable. And it's also limited for at least for motherhood because they grow. Save the career things. Save your productivity outside for after the kids don't need you quite as much, or they're gone, or something. It does not mean you can't have hobbies or start something, but just I want you to be aware of something that I also struggle with. And something my husband has been so good to remind me of. Um, uh, when I would get overwhelmed by all the things I had going on, and I would just kind of flip out a little bit, he'd say, you have one job. I was so offended. Oh my gosh, what do you mean? I'm doing everything. He goes, no, you have one job. Everything else you're picking up. You're selecting, you're saying, I'm going to volunteer here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to write these newsletters. I'm going to do all that stuff. That's not your job. Your job is being a mom. Your job is being a homemaker. That's your job. And all the other things that I'm doing that are detracting, that are driving me crazy because I put too much on my plate. That is for me to own and say, agreed, I have one job. It's such an important job. So if we don't value homemaking, who will? I mean, I know if you were to line up kind of your responsibilities as a homemaker slash mother or as a income provider, and then ask your husband, which one, if I had one of those roles, what would you like to have in your life? And I'm guessing 99 out of 100 guys are going to say the homemaker mother role because honestly, they want a lady who is not stressed out. And it's not because they don't want you to have needs. That is not it at all. They just don't want you to be unhappy. Why are we driving? I was so guilty of driving myself to such great unhappiness. I was the author of it. And yet I thought I was such a victim. The world was putting so much on me. And I realized nobody asked me to do this or that or what. And my husband even said, you know what? If you're going to be so stressed out, I would rather have you stay at home. This was before we had kids. You can just stay at home and I will work. I just want you to be happy. What a guy, right? Oh my gosh, I was blown away. I thought, no, no, surely, no, I have to contribute financially. Otherwise, I'm not worth anything. Does that hit home? Because whoa, that was my message. And I still struggle with that. So going back to you have one job, anything else that we do, talking about having a side hustle or whatnot, we have to be so aware that since we only have 100%, and if we're giving 10% or 25% to our side hustle and the rest to our family, okay, that sounds like we could maybe balance that. But oftentimes, if you're like me, the thing that I'm really excited about, which would generally be like a side hustle thing, not like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to make dinner again for the 8,000th time. I just can't wait. It's going to be the side hustle thing, which has a lot of unknowns and potential and delicious possibilities. I'm going to want to put a lot of my energy into that, and it is going to detract from everything else I'm doing. If it's like if you were at say you're working at an office and you have a job and you have goal things that you do every day and your role, and you decide, oh, I also want to sell jewelry on the side. And so I'm going to start a little bit. I'm just going to have my phone on the side over here and I'm just going to check here and oh, I got to update this. Oh, someone wanted to buy that. Pretty soon, you're going to be spending 30% of your time, 40% of your time, maybe even more trying to, on the side, work on your side hustle while you're at work. Soon things are going to start falling behind. You're not being present. You are distracted. You're not showing up to your commitment to the person who's employing you. That's the same thing with the home. You've made a commitment to yourself and to your family, to your husband, that I'm here and I'm here to do this job. So I think it's really, really important to be aware of where we like to put our attention, where we like to travel, so that we don't find ourselves in a world of hurt, in a big mess, and especially in an unhappy relationship because we're just trying to do too much. I don't think there's a price tag on peace of mind. And that, and not just peace of mind, because that sounds like insurance to me, but about having peace, inner peace inside. That when we know and we value what we're doing, what we're bringing to the table as women, as homemakers, as mothers, that there isn't a dollar sign that you can attach to that. I totally understand. We all have different situations and experiences. You might be a single mom listening to the going, well, what am I supposed to do about that? And I think a lot of men might say, well, go find a guy. And I know that may seem easy. Oh, that's easier said than done. Well, but if that's your focus, instead of, well, I'm just going to soldier on. I can do it all. I'm alone and that's fine. I'm going to just keep plowing forward and everyone's going to survive. I bet they will. I bet they will. But I don't know that you're going to be that happy. And I don't know that your kids are going to be that happy without the missing link of a dad in their life. So that is not a critique, but that is like a, hey, did you want to maybe think about this a different way? And women, if you were like me, where I was so gung ho about career, and I mean, I was a breadwinner for the family, and my husband was doing his best as the stay at home dad. And that did not work. If you'd like to hear an episode on that, we'll talk about the total lie that I believe is that role switch around. It is not a recipe for long lasting happiness. There are exceptions to everything, though. So I only know my story and the stories of others that I've found and what rings true to me. So, yeah, so take that with as much salt as you like. But I just want to encourage you gals to really start looking at what your contribution is as a homemaker and a mother, that you are the centerpiece of your family's life. You are not meant to be run ragged and not have your needs met. You are not meant to give and give and give without receiving. You were not meant to apologize for not living up to your full potential because you do not have a career outside the home. What you are providing and offering your family by committing to raising your children, committing to being that strength, that softness, that woman at home for your man to come home to and go, ah, she loves me. She is here. She's got my back. She supports me. And you feel the same way. Ah, he's come home. He puts his arms around me. Ah, I can take a sigh of relief and know that I am safe. Thank you for providing for our family. Thank you for doing all of that hard work. It may be a job he loves, it may be a job he hates. Regardless, he's out there and he's doing it. Thank you. It's beautiful. So, with that, I wanted to end with kind of a guided meditation to invite you into seeing really what is inside your heart. Okay. I apologize for those watching. I am going to be looking at my paper and probably having my eyes closed intermittently. All right. Let's take some nice deep breaths. Just in your own time, just cleansing breaths. Just let all the stress just wash away. Mm. Feel it circulate all through your body as you exhale and come into this beautiful softness. In your mind's eye, I want you to picture a walkway. It's a walkway up to a residence. And you're walking, maybe you see your shoes, they're your favorite shoes, and you feel yourself. Oh, you're even swishing in a dress. Oh, look at that. That feels really good. Oh, you're just settling into your feminine right there. Oh, it's so beautiful. And you see flowers planted on either side of the walk. It's so pretty. And you look up and you see home. This might be your dream home. This might be the home that's in your heart. This might be the home that you grew up in or the home you're currently residing in. Whatever it is home. You go and you open the door and you walk in. Oh, it smells so good in here. It smells like something's baking and something's cooking. And you smell maybe a favorite fragrance. Maybe your favorite candle has been burning and you just, oh, it's so warm and inviting and cozy. The light hits just right in the rooms. You see your living room. It's so welcoming. You just want to sit down on the couch and snuggle up and relax. It feels just like the safest, most perfect place. As you're sitting on this couch and you feel the couch envelop your body and just hold you so gently and firmly, your husband comes and sits next to you. This might be the man you are currently married to. This might be, if you are single, your dream guy comes and sits next to you. He puts his arm around you and you rest your head on his chest. A deep sigh of relief. You're home. You are held. You are loved. You are safe. And then your children come in. This could be the children you currently have, the children you may have. And they come and surround you. They're hugging and resting on, sitting on your lap, hugging you, just surrounded by you. Everyone is, it's a big love fest. It's so much love and hugs and restfulness. And this is home. This is your treasure. This is everything you're building, everything that you're living for, everything you're creating. This is the beauty of your homemaking, what you've created together with your spouse, what you're building, who you're building as a family. You rest in that embrace of your family, that love. They love you so much. You are covered in love. And there is glorious, beautiful, bright, glowing yellow light that represents the immense love that is yours unconditionally. Just because you are this beautiful creation, you are here. And that love permeates your home. It permeates your soul, your marriage, your relationship with your children so that you can show up and that you can pour that abundant love into all of these beautiful lives. This love ripples for generations. You are the fountain of that love for these precious people that you call family. I bless you, Queen of your home, surrounding you with such abundant love. Slowly at your time, feel free to come out of this. And I want you to hold in your mind, after we're done here, what did you see? What are things you'd like to maybe do differently? How would you like to bring that vision into fruition in your life? Because it's yours to create. It's yours to choose and to have. You can have it all. You can have all of that. We can have it all, just not all at once, right? When it comes to career or the journeys in life that we want to have, there's so much that's possible. So thank you for being with me today. I hope that this blessed you. I hope that, share it with someone else who might be on the journey. Maybe they've been another gal who's been on the cusp of like, oh, I really want to stay at home, but I don't know. I don't think we could swing it. Or maybe they've never even thought about it. Like I had never even thought about it. It's something that I really want to bring into popularity, into culture, into making this not so fringy and seeing the utter value, like the priceless value that we are as women, as homemakers, and as mothers. All right, girl, I'll be here next Friday. If you want to reach out, please do so. Email me at wholewomanawakening@gmail.com. I'll be here next Friday.